Hello guys, good afternoon. 17th of January 2020, 10 minutes past US cash open. A little bit of the update of what is going on, what's possible trading plan for the next just 2-3 hours. You don't want to stay with the US guys only, so be careful and be aware of the Europe close coming shortly. So the second part of the US session, that might be huge manipulation, and you don't want to participate, you don't want to be trapped over the weekend, right? So what it's all about overall. Earlier today during the Tokyo session we had this Chinese GDP coming out at 6% as expected. We had Chinese industrial production much higher, 6.9, 5.9 expectation, 6.2 previously. Retail sales also higher, so well, congratulations Shanghai. Anyway, then we had a cable retail, we have the UK retail sales much weaker than what market was expecting. And finally US numbers, building permits a little bit lower, housing starts a little bit higher, industrial production a little bit lower, and capacity utilization rate as expected. We are awaiting preliminary University of Michigan within the next 20 minutes or so. So let's start with the pound. As you can see, I got few orders, but overall let's start from the very beginning, right? What happened here? We had this gap down. We were discussing that retest, right, of the weekly open could be some kind of the selling opportunity. And if you remember, I've been once short and I grabbed few green pips. I've been short again and they caught me with my stop above the gap, right? So it was like, let's say 1-to-1, but the move to the downside was bigger profit than the loss. Was more R, but anyway, 1-1. And today weak retail sales. So my way of thinking is that yesterday and today the hard push to the upside was based on this high retail sales expectations, right? Earlier we were falling out of the cliff based on the Bank of England dovish camp woke up, and there was some kinds of the discussion about the possible rate cut if needed. So huge miss when it comes to the retail sales, moving lower. I'm looking for a possibility to join the party. I've been trading a bit this type of the move 1-to-1, so just few green pips, this one with this one, right? But I want to see higher levels. I'm waiting for something bigger. I might change my mood once we are going, and might be in rush a bit in case of the pound going back below the weekly open, which might be significant development during the US session, because those weekly open ones we broke through yesterday holds 3 times, right? But I think if not today, then next week pound might be the play of the week, might be the trade of the week, if we are going to walk up with this doves inside the Bank of England. So I'm looking for a possibility to trade pound to the downside with dollar, but I'm not in rush yet. I might, change my mind when we are going to break the below the weekly open. Why I'm not in a rush right here, right now? Because, as you probably know from the previous update, I've been waiting for the pullback on the euro pound to eventually try to take the advantage and try to trade alongside of the euro pound. And we've seen this type of the pullback. At some point we were even lower, so well, it was half of the way towards my stop. I survived thanks to the weaker data. Well, we will see how it's going to look towards the end of the week. So I don't want to have I don't want to have too big exposure when it comes to the pound. So here with the euro pound, I'm fine. If we are going to get back you know, somewhere towards the levels around 85.50, 85.60. If at some point we are going to see that levels, I may cut the one opened. Oops, sorry, the one opened higher. I'm talking. Geez, sorry. I'm talking about that one, right? So, well, we will see. I don't want to have too big exposure towards the you know, weekend. All right. Also, I've been trading dollar yen on the short side, if you remember. But once they started to move, we have to switch to the daily. Once they started yesterday to move above the Wednesday high, right? If you remember, I had my stop here. So overall, if I wouldn't do the job, I would be stopped out today, but I cut when they were trying to break yesterday high. I cut a little bit earlier, but still with tiny loss. So not the great dollar yen trade. Why I cut? Because I'm still sitting short USDJPY, so I decided to stay short here, right? When it comes, we were discussing this a few times, over under swing high. So we will see where we are going to end up with the dollar yen, with those positive data, with you know, strong dollar positive sentiment as of now, right? If you remember, we were discussing about this latest weakness. So eventually any kind of the pullback, but as early as next week, might be treated as a buying opportunity. At least that's how it looks, in my opinion, for now. So that's the zone we are talking about. This week open, that's the level of the this week open as well, as you can see here on the chart. Okay. Let's have a look. So I'm not in a rush when it comes to the dollar yen. All right. I think we are going to trade through that level, and we are going to try to close that gap. All right. So as I mentioned, when it comes to the early pullback as early as next week, and then trying to trade that way, could be the solution when it comes to the dollar yen, right? Let's get back to the Aussie yen, because it's very important. It depends where they are going to trade towards the end of the day. If let's say towards the end of the day we are going to get back closer to the daily open, right? We are going to fight around the daily open, or maybe a little bit higher, right? I might cut this ahead of the weekend, right? So we'll try to not to stay overexposed over the weekend. Depends where we are going to be at the end of the week. That's why I'm waiting. Either tomorrow or Sunday, I'm going to prepare the separate video in relation to the commodity block, right? If you watch today metals report, levels, zones for gold, silver, palladium and platinum, I'm going to make something similar for the different crosses related to the Australian dollar, different crosses related to the Kiwi, and different crosses related to the Canadian dollar. So to have some levels, possible setups for the next week, right? And finally, because we discussed all the majors, finally S&P 500. We are still trading below the cash open, as you can see, right? That was the cash open, so we are trading below. But with all this data, I don't think that the end of the week is gonna be like some kind of the reversal. That's not how it looks. So you know, there is a possibility we are going to see some more fireworks. So the daily open as a first possible demand. Overall daily open, not the cash open, right? Then mid of the yesterday range, maybe a little bit lower. That could be also the solution if you are looking for few points towards the end of the week. But overall, so important, guys. I'm looking to be short pound, not overexposed over the weekend. With the dollar yen, I will see if we can get some kind of the pullback. Then I'm going to look for the long. Leaving euro dollar for now, staying short Aussie yen, and looking to maybe buy and grab few points on S&P towards the end of the week. We'll see. Don't be trapped during the second part of the session. Have a great rest of the day, recharge your batteries, and I do promise you that market is going to be open again Sunday, Monday, so no worries, there are gonna be more setups. Thank you very much, have a good one, and see you around, guys.